Greetings, Instagram. Greetings, YouTube. My angle's funny on it on Instagram because I don't know. I have my charger in on my little stand, so it's like tilted funny. So it might look weird on Instagram versus on YouTube. Okay, because I'm streaming in two different places. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the reading. I'm not a pre-shuffle or reader unless I like am led to pull cards and then like read or whatever, but I usually like shuffle on camera. But this spread wanted to come out, so I'm going to share the cards that I do have. Um, Long story short, I was watching a prophetic word on YouTube like an hour ago or so, and this is going to resonate for those that it's meant to resonate with in any situation, any area of your life. This isn't specifically towards one thing. But the video that I was watching, they were talking about, divine marriages and blah, blah, blah. They're Christians and everything, but, God speaks to me however God's going to speak to me. So I was watching this video and they were talking about how they stopped judging other women's journeys when it came to their marriages, right? And the peanut gallery, oh, he doesn't read the Bible like this, and he doesn't know all the scripture like I do, or he doesn't pray like this, and blah, blah, blah. Like, if we take it to a standpoint of the world view of things, not in a Christian standpoint, then it's like, oh, well, he's not on your level. He doesn't have this type of car. He doesn't have this type of job, or she don't have this type of body, and she don't have this, she don't have that. We'll judge people for that, and a lot of time people will block their blessings because they think that their blessings should come in a certain format, or it should come in a certain body, or when they think it should come, right? So with this, it was just weird because I was like, Spirit, what messages do you want me to share with the collective? And I looked at the cards, and at first it didn't really hit me until I pulled the oracle cards, and I was like, okay, this makes sense. So same scenario, okay? So I'm going to pull, or I'm going to show you the cards that I pulled. I had the Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Cups in reverse, the Ten of Cups, Five of Swords, and the Page of Cups. And I clarified the Seven of Cups with the Seven of Wands, which was in reverse. My bad. It should be like this. Seven of Wands in reverse and Judgment is how I pulled it. And then the oracle cards that you guys got was the Gift and the Ego. Those cards that I pulled. So it's a battle between the ego and this gift that Spirit is offering. It is a divine blessing, a divine gift, but there's some type of illusion surrounding it, though, due to your own confusion or your past experiences. Things that you've experienced in the past is causing you not to see this gift for what it is. The gift is still going to be there. It still stands. And I feel like this is some type of divine message to you. It could be a reminder of something that was given to you, an inkling, a knowing, a synchronicity, something that spoke to your heart. And I feel like for some of you, it was a dream. You have to be careful with dreams and stuff like that because not every dream comes from the divine. Not every dream is a divine premonition. So you have to be discerning of your dreams. But the Page of Cups can represent, for some of you, a message. That promise still stands. It's something that is substantial. Another thing that stood out to me in that prophetic word video, the woman was saying how she met her husband or whatever, how God kept telling her she was going to meet her husband in such and such type of, under certain type of circumstances. And she had went to church one morning and she said she dressed up because God told her to get dressed, look nice, blah, blah, blah. You're going to meet your husband today. And she was discouraged because she was the only one. I guess she went to this small church and all the seats were filled and she had to sit in the back. And she was like, I was the only one there. But there was this guy that was always there at the church that day. He ended up sitting in the back with her because he showed up late to church and there were no more seats in the front when he would usually sit in the front. And that was her husband, right? So she was getting all these divine signs and people telling her, your husband's going to be a football player. He's going to be this, he's going to be that. And she was like, I don't see none of this. But as things unfolded, she found out that was her husband. Um, Another woman that was telling her story was she had, they're church women, mind you, these are Christian women, right? That she was at church. Hey, sister. She was at church and she was talking to this guy that usually doesn't go to church. And they were having this good conversation. And she was like, I don't want it to end, blah, blah, blah. But she got called back into the church. So she went back inside. And one of her friends was like, why are you smiling so much? And she was like, because I was talking to this guy and I didn't want the conversation to end. And she was like, well, do you want me to go outside and give him your number? And the guy was like, it was crazy because he said that he prayed. He was like, God, if you want me to pursue this woman, um, then let me know. Give me a sign. And that woman came outside as soon as he finished his prayer and was like, hey, let me give you my friend's number. So it was already set up. And she said that she kind of got discouraged by the relationship because he was not in the church like she was, right? So I'm just using this as an example. But if we go off of a standard of what we think how things should come, our blessings should come, and it's not to say that you should settle for somebody that's not pursuing you if this is a love thing or um a toxic relationship. If this is about a job, a career, a home, a means to your health, you cannot block your divine blessings because of how your ego thinks it should go or because of past experiences. And you also have to be careful with the peanut gallery, Five of Swords. People that may not be on the same journey as you um may not agree with it, even if they're coming from a place of love, or these are people that themselves are in successful careers and you admire that, or they're in what you might think are healthy relationships or successful marriages or whatever, or they have something you have. Even if it be that, you the first go-to is always going to be source, the divine, because that's who the gift is coming from. You don't focus on the gift, you don't focus on anybody else that has something to say about how the gift should come. You focus on the gift giver, because whoever this message is for, you're mentally conflicted because of something from your past that you've experienced and or what other people think or what other people have said about it. And sometimes God will allow that so that you can seek clarity for yourself. You can seek the divine for yourself because you've already been given that judgment call. You've already been given that clear conviction of what it is, that whatever this is that Spirit is offering to you. And this might have been a long time coming, whatever, excuse me, whatever this gift is. You switch over. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you supporting my platforms. Thank you. The thing about the Pentacles is that they're the Pentacles is the earth, right? So this is the physical. Things take time to manifest in the physical. So if it's coming down from the spirit realm, it's going to take some time. And another thing too about the Pentacles is it's more, if you go off of timing in the tarot, the Pentacles would be more of a time patience and time type of thing versus a wand, which is wands are fast moving, swords is fast moving energy, water just kind of flows. But this thing might have been a long time coming, but it's something of value. You know how they teach us as kids the value of money. A pentacle is technically money. So something of value to you. Whatever this is, it has longevity. What you do with it, rather. But this was a gift. And there's the Seven of Cups is in reverse because like Spirit is like come out of that illusion, that confusion that you might have about whatever this thing is, because Spirit has promised you something. You have the rainbow and the Ten of Cups. This is a promise. This is something divine. This is a just due. This is your justice at the end of your trial, your emotional justice, your spiritual justice, your emotional fulfillment. You're sharing this gift with others, whether it's a life purpose, whether it's a connection, whether it's helping other people to heal. There's some type of blessing in this. There's a lot of cups here. So for some of you, this is something that you've put a lot of emotional energy into, something that you definitely have to listen to your inner knowing, your inner feelings. You cannot go off of these illusions from past experiences or being caught up in the shiny things. Oh, it has to come like this. And if it doesn't, then it must not be it. Or if it doesn't come at this such and such time, because sometimes like we can get caught up in timing and, oh well, if it doesn't happen, then I guess it wasn't meant for me, or if I don't get this email, then this must not be the career for me, it can only come this way. Sometimes spirit will tell you you got to move here, and then you're like, I don't understand why I have to move, but then that's where you end up getting that career of your dreams, where you meet the right people, or you meet your spouse there, or um you got to do something that out of the norm, or just don't be so restricted off of what you think it should look like, because that's limiting the divine, that's limiting the universe. So the 7 of Wands in reverse is like, let go of that restriction, let go of that battle, that fight that comes from the 7 of Cups, the illusions of things, because spirit is already giving you this. So if you're having any type of thoughts about the past, anything connected or in relations to or memory to a past situation that may be similar to this energy, that was there. It's only coming up so that you can use your divine wisdom to discern things different this time. It's not to tell you that this is what you deserve and this is just how it's going to be, this is how it's going to go, just deal with it, or you're going to repeat the same thing. It's giving you an opportunity to start over, to start fresh and start new. So this is that judgment call to overcome what you've experienced in the past and make peace with it and let it go. Get the lessons out of it and keep moving forward. Because this is like, whatever this thing is, it's resurrecting something within you as well. Maybe other people around you. I feel like for a lot of you, this could be purpose, life purpose. It's a gift that you have within you. It is something that a seed that is planted only that you can give birth and bring forth into the world. No one else can do that. We all have our own gifts. Some of you guys, it could be a love relationship where you're afraid to take a chance on a relationship because you don't see longevity in it, because it doesn't look the way that you think it should look. It's not happening when you think it should happen. Thank you. It's not happening when you think that it should. So it's like, nah, this can't be the right guy. This can't be the right woman because blah, blah, blah. Or this is not the right job for me. Or I don't think that this is blah. It's like you're blocking yourself. Or this must not be my calling in life because I'm not getting as many clients as this person. Or I don't have the money to start this business. And you're limiting yourself. You don't know how spirit's going to work it out. You don't know. If spirit gave you an inkling or a knowing, or gave you some type of promise, or told you something that you know, it's like you can't mistake what spirit says. Like when you hear it, when you hear spirit, when you get like that download from the divine, or it's something that you know is your higher self, you can't mistake it because it's so clear. It comes through very subtly, very peacefully. The ego is very loud. It causes you to be emotionally thrown off. You be like, is it this? Is it that? I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. That's the ego, or your ego and your higher self are having a battle. Because it's like you heard one thing, but now you're conflicted because now you're entertaining an opposite energy. So now you're confused. But you heard clear, or you feel clearly what it is. So I feel like the only thing here, the only interference was this 5 of Swords energy, where you're looking back at a past experience or circumstance, and or what other people are saying or telling you. Like we get confused, and sometimes this is why I say, like, even me, I'm still flesh and bones. I will have the best intentions for somebody, but at the same time I can filter it through my own experience, through my own wisdom, and then I can probably conflict someone with what they feel they know. Sometimes our ego doesn't want to hear the truth. Spirit can be speaking through a person as a vessel to you, but if you don't want to take what's being heard because that person, oh, they're just human, I can't take what they're saying as truth, your ego is going to fight you on that, even if it is true. And then back to what I was saying before, a person could mean well for you. They could be telling you, oh, don't date that guy because they experienced something similar. That guy could be, the circumstances could remind them a little bit of a situation they were in that didn't end well. So they'll tell you, oh, don't go for that guy, don't go for that girl. Or this person is, they don't make as much money as you, not knowing that that person could be destined to be an entrepreneur, a billionaire, millionaire. They don't know. So they'll tell you, oh, don't invest in that relationship because, girl, he ain't got this, he ain't got that. They don't know what his calling is. Oh, don't invest in that woman because, oh, women like her, you know, she look like the type to do that. Like, no, it's going to block your blessings. If you go off of everything that people say, take it to spirit and confirm whether this is of your highest good or not. Oh, well, I don't think you should go for that career, that job, because, you know, COVID, this is happening right now, and I don't think that your job is going to be able to thrive and to move forward because, and then you'll listen to that, and God told you, no, I want you to start this business, but you won't do it because somebody else told you it's not fitting for the times that we're in, not knowing that the universe is infinite. So you'll play yourself, or you'll allow yourself to get played because you entertain other people's opinions and their own perception of things. You have to go to the source first and confirm whether this is coming from spirit, or if you're still confused, be like, spirit, was this what you told me? Is this the right career for me? Is this the right, should I invest in this relationship? Should I move? Is this the right, is it time for me to move? Is it time for me to buy a house? Is it, should I go to this doctor? Should I invest in this healing, whatever? It could be anything. I'm just using examples. But there's a fight. Why did you put 222? That's crazy. Wow. Okay, so you have learning experience and divine timing. Learning experience and divine timing. So divine timing and learning experience says that this whole thing is under divine time. It's not under where we think it should be. It's not under the timing of what we want and how we want it. Learning experience. So some of you, your test is patience. Remember I was saying, like, the Pentacles, the timing in the tarot was a little longer than the other suits in the tarot. So the process is probably teaching a lot of you patience, and what you do with that time of your waiting process to get you to where you've been called to go, or where you've been trying to manifest, or what you've been trying to manifest in your life. Mm-hmm. So this person is, fear not, their eyes are closed. You see how his eyes are closed? Hey, sis. So his eyes are closed. His hands are on, like, near his heart, kind of near his solar plexus. There's a lot of yellow energy, by the way. So his eyes are closed, and I feel like that represents internal, like going within self. Like your experience, what you're learning is about what's inside of self, not outside. The external things are going to reflect back to you anyway, what it is that you're learning. So no matter who or what you're looking at, it's always going to reflect back to you. Thank you, Rainbow. I appreciate you. It's always going to reflect back to you. And it's kind of giving me hermit vibes too. That process of going within, and that solitude, and that divine wisdom, that divine light that aligns you with your divine path. This is self-mastery. So it's something that this whole experience in itself, it's not good or bad. I mean, it is what it is. It's how you take it. But it's more of a good thing, because whether it's a little bit of an obstacle or a little bit of a struggle within the process within itself, it's still teaching you something very valuable. Do you understand the lesson? That's really up to you how you see that. But at the end of the day, it's always a learning experience. There's a bigger picture that you can't see. You're only seeing a fragment of what Spirit is showing you. There's so much more that's going on behind the scenes that you can't see. It's only a fragment. It's only a piece. Spirit allows us to see things from a certain perspective or a certain view, because we all have a role to play in the divine and the universe. I remember you talking about the Hermit. We were talking about that a while ago, the Hermit card. But so if I have this role or this position in the team, God has this one, our angels, our ancestors, other key players. We got to just focus on our own play. I can't focus too much on what this person's going to do and what they're not doing. We can't do that because it just throws everything off. Everything has to be synchronized. And in order for things to be synchronized, you got to focus on what you're supposed to be doing. So we can't do the divine's job. You know what I mean? We can't be like this, and that. Like, you can't. So this message is going to remain. It's like something that you were told or something that you were given by the divine that sticks with you. And also Pisces energy does deal with illusions as well. So it's like some of you guys are trying to discern between a truth versus an illusion, or a vision versus an illusion or imagination, which they're all pretty much the same, or a dream versus if it was your ego, if it was your imagination. You're trying to discern between that. But there was something that you were given. It was a message that spoke to you on an emotional level, on an intuitive level, on an internal level. So another thing too, and it can get conflicting and confusing at times, but there was like a circumstance, plenty of circumstances where spirit would tell me something and the situation would not look like it was going to even happen or even manifest or come to pass. And I would be like, well, spirit, I know you said this, but it's not happening. But that inner conviction is so strong that you can't deny it. You'll know it comes from spirit because it'll come to pass, obviously. But there's times where you're not always going to have that physical validation or proof in the physical to tell you, like, yeah, what you heard or what you feel is true, right? You just got to let it happen. But that conviction is there. It's strong. So what you feel on a deep intuitive level, it sticks to you regardless of what the circumstances look like. That's what blind faith is. When people talk about having blind faith, it's like, yeah, my circumstances don't look like it, but I know deep down inside. You can't deny it. There's cases where you might waver, and sometimes you think that you heard something, but you don't feel at peace with it. It may not be that, but it's a knowing that you have to acknowledge. So don't always bank on too much of what it looks like on the outside, because if you know something on a deep level, you need to know what you know and trust what you know, especially if it came from spirit. It's not something you have to stress over. It's not something that you have to obsess over. It's not anything that you have to prove. You just know it is what it is and you leave it alone. So that's what I'm getting. I hope that makes sense. In short, I hope that made sense. And there could be something with the number 7 because you got it quite a bit. The 7 of Cups, 7 of Wands. The gift card was number 27, which is also 927, which is a 9. With that hermit energy that might resonate. But yeah, as always, I appreciate you guys. Much love. Thank you for watching. YouTube, Instagram. Thank you. I'm doing tip jar readings soon. I don't know what time it is. It might be 3:30. Is it 3:30 yet? As long as it's not 3:30 Mountain Standard Time, I'm still taking submissions for tip jar readings for today. Yeah, so if you guys are interested in that, if not, I will catch you guys later on. I have a Valentine's Day special as well. Love you too, sis. Thank you. Thank you for chilling on my live. Yeah, so check out my Valentine's Day special as well. It's on sale now until February 14th. And I'll catch you guys soon. Much love as always. Be blessed, be safe. Take care.